Hi, I'm Jordan with Karcher Academy. Today we're going to do a B150 ride-on scrubber dryer installation video. We're going to go through everything on the machine that you need to know in order to utilize this piece in your facility. As we're going through this unit, I would like you to pay attention to two specific colors. One is yellow. These designate operator touch points. Virtually every time we use the machine, we'll be touching these yellow portions of the machine to activate it. A second color that we're going to need to know is the light gray color. These are service touch points. While we may not touch it every single time we use the machines, we will be touching these pieces also on a frequent basis to keep our B150 up and running smooth. At the start of each shift, we're going to need to fill the clean solution tank with as much water and detergent as we'll need for the scrubbing activity. There are two ways to fill this unit, and both are located in the front of the unit on the steering column. The first is the manual fill solution port. Simply remove the yellow cap, insert our hose, turn the water on, and fill the tank with as much water as desired. The second way is with the autofill accessory. If you bought the accessory, you can attach the quick disconnect to your hose, open this port, you can then connect the hose here, turn on the water. When the tank is done filling, a backflow preventer will cut off the water. So that way we have as much water as we need for the day's activities. When it comes time for operation, we can start with the easy dial panel. We will first install our key fob. We'll turn the easy dial to transport mode. The scrubber will run through a quick diagnostic and then be ready for service. We can use transport mode to go wherever in the facility is that we're ready to scrub, and then by selecting which portion of the dial we want, determine to which scrub function we'll be using. Eco efficiency is the first one, which gives us the most effective cleaning using the least amount of resources. For a slightly more intensive scrub, more additional water and recovery, we can go to the next selection. If a heavy duty scrub is desired, we can come to the next selection, which will give us more water and down pressure. If we would like to do a double scrub, we can simply have brushes and water with no recovery, and if need be, we can go to a vacuum only mode and have just recovery. Also on the panel, you will see a horn if desired. There's also a button to determine if we would want to go forwards or backwards, such as for storage or trying to get into a corner or a small space of the facility. We also have a red input-output button. If we desire to stop the machine for whatever reason, we can simply click it to off and the machine cannot function. After scrubbing with the unit, we should check the debris bin and the brushes to make sure that they're in good working order and ready for the next shift. First thing, you'll notice the light gray debris bin. This is a service item, and on occasion we'll want to pull this off and check it to see if any debris has accumulated it. We can then dump it and rinse it out. To remove the brushes, there are two cylindrical roller brushes in the B150. One comes out on the right side, the other will come out on the left side. To remove the brushes, simply turn the clip. This will allow you to move the side squeegee. To get the brush out, simply downturn the other clip. The brush will lower, and we can then pull it out for a visual inspection. After we have visually inspected the brush and know it's good to reinsert, we'll want to put it back in the machine. There are two ends. One has a circular opening and one has a star opening. The star opening is what will go away from you to insert on the far side of the brush head. As you insert the brush, you'll notice that it clears the ground and hangs down just ever so slightly. We'll then be able to put the round material into the round aperture of the brush, like so. We will then bring the block up so that it sits flush with the black portion. We can then turn the clip, bring the side squeegee over, fasten it with the other clip. We will then be able to reinsert the debris bin. And now the brush head is ready to go for the next shift. At the end of our shift, it'll be time to dump the dirty water recovery tank located at the rear of the unit. The easiest way to do this is to back up to a floor drain or a raised slop sink, wherever it is that we're going to be depositing the dirty water and sediment. The large black hose located on the left rear of the machine, we can remove this, pinch it, lift the yellow operator touch point, and slowly lower it to the floor. As this drains, we can grab our garden hose and we can rinse the dirty water recovery tank. This will help to remove all the dirty water and sediment and bacteria. Aside from the manual rinsing of the dirty water recovery tank, there's also an accessory that can be used on it as well. It is known as the auto rinse function. This gray opening can be lifted. A quick disconnect can be attached to this portion here, which will give us the ability to auto rinse the tank. The solution, once coupled with the auto rinse function, pushes water through a series of tubes and jets to clean the sides of the recovery tank so it can all go down to the recovery hose. This function is very beneficial in locations where they may be exposed to a biological material, and we don't want to aerosol that or expose anyone to it, so the tank can remain closed while the solution tank is being rinsed. A couple of maintenance items to point out while the recovery tank is open. One is the large gasket going all the way around the perimeter of the dirty water recovery tank. That is to ensure that we get a good vacuum seal and the unit recovers properly. On occasion, we should also check a couple of other things in the dirty water recovery tank. One is the float valve shutoff system. If you gently push together these light gray clips, we can remove this piece and inspect it to make sure that there are no cuts or there's no damage to it. There's also a light gray filter we should check on occasion. Simply turn it counterclockwise to remove. We can inspect the filter to make sure that everything is intact and is functioning properly. To reinstall, simply put the 3 clips over and rotate clockwise. Every time we use the auto scrubber, along with dumping the dirty water recovery tank, we'll want to clean the squeegees. If we don't, material and grit can build up on the squeegee blades and start to round them off and degrade its ability to recover all the water and sediment off the floor. To remove the squeegee, simply loosen the 2 large black wing nuts, pull the squeegee assembly out, remove the hose. This gives us the ability to take it over to the sink and use the water to rinse off all the material that's accumulated on the blades. After the squeegee assembly has been thoroughly cleaned, simply reinstall it. We can take our vacuum hose and fit it back on, place a finger underneath the black partition, and reinsert the assembly like so. We'll then tighten the wing nuts down, just finger tight. And it's ready to go for the next shift. Once we've had a chance to thoroughly clean the machine by emptying out the recovery tank and rinsing it, cleaning the squeegee assembly, as well as inspecting the brush head, it may be time to charge the unit so it's ready to go for the next shift. Your standalone charger can be plugged into a regular 110 volt wall outlet, and the gray Anderson plug which you see is what will actually be connected to the batteries to help recharge it. A little tip: sometimes if there's multiple machines in the facility, it's handy to write the unit number on the charger. You can even write the serial number as well. That way we know exactly which charger the machine is supposed to go with. When we want to start the charging process, we'll need access to the battery case. Locate the light gray service touch point next to the seat and gently pull up on it. This will expose the battery pack. We can then take the internal Anderson plugs and separate them. At this point, we'll get the light gray Anderson coupler from our charger and plug it into the light gray Anderson plug that is on the batteries. The charger will start, and it's a smart charger, so when it's done charging the batteries, it will simply shut itself off. So after plugging this in, you can walk away and come back at the start of the next shift. To be ready for scrubbing, simply disconnect the Anderson plugs, reconnect the Anderson plugs inside the machine, lower the seat, and we'll be ready to turn the unit on. Well, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. If there's any further questions, please contact your local area Karcher manager, and they'll be able to assist you. And until next time, keep it clean.